This laptop is 19 years old. Though looking at it, you probably wouldn't believe me. It looks almost brand new, but the hardware inside is still very much stuck in 2007. So the question is, what should we do with this machine? Keep running the outdated version of Windows it came with? Or try some lightweight Linux distro? Well, actually no. Today, I'm once again trying something a bit stranger. Not Windows and definitely not Linux. And it's an ultra compact, ridiculously lightweight operating system. So lightweight that even this old hardware is total overkill for it. But how much can such a tiny OS actually do on a 19-year-old laptop? Let's find out. And this is the laptop I'll be using for today's experiment, the Fujitsu FMV Biblo NF43W. Man, I don't know why, but Fujitsu always makes their product names ridiculously hard to pronounce. This thing came out all the way back in 2007, but what's really weird is its condition. Despite being 19 years old, it looks almost unbelievably new. The white chassis is still incredibly clean, the keyboard feels great, there's barely a scratch anywhere, and even the original factory stickers are still intact. Honestly, if I told you this thing was fresh out of the box, you might actually believe me. And I really like this design. The battery pops right out, while the RAM and hard drive each have their own access panels. And check this out, we've got an 80GB IDE hard drive. Wow, fascinating. Alright, let's turn it on and see what this beautiful machine has to offer. Oh, you hear that? Yup, it's still running Windows Vista exactly as that sticker promised. And while it might look almost brand new on the outside, the hardware is still very much from 2007. We have a single core AMD Sempron 3400 Plus running at 1.8 GHz with 1.5 GB of DDR2 RAM and integrated ATI graphics. And look at this, even Windows Vista is already eating up more than 500 megabytes of RAM while I'm doing basically nothing. So, what kind of operating system could possibly make hardware this old feel like complete overkill? Well, meet Calibri OS. It's a free open source operating system that's been independently developed since 2004 after branching off from Menuet OS. And don't think this is some ancient project that's been abandoned. In fact, Calibri OS was accepted into GSOC 2026, so the community is still actively working on and improving it today. But what really makes Calibri OS special is how it's built. The kernel is written entirely in FASM assembly, helping make it incredibly small and fast. How small? The entire OS can fit into just 1.44 megabytes. Yeah, that's basically the capacity of a 3.5-inch floppy disk. Remember those? I guess hardly anyone uses them anymore. Despite its small size, it still has a full graphical interface, multitasking, networking, media tools, a web browser, and over 30 exciting games. And the system requirements are almost ridiculous. Only a few megabytes of disk space, an i586 processor, and 12 megabytes of RAM to run. Meanwhile, this Fujitsu has 1.5 gigabytes. So yeah, this 19-year-old laptop is actually massive overkill for Calibri OS. Alright, enough talking. Let's see if I can actually get this thing running on the Fujitsu. I'm on the Calibri OS download page right now, and the latest build is from August 21st. Wow, this thing is fresh out of the oven. Let's download the floppy disk image first. Oh, it really is just 1.44 megabytes. This version is actually designed to fit on a real floppy disk. There's just one problem. This laptop obviously doesn't have a floppy drive, so for this experiment, I'll be using the live CD version instead. The download is around 98 megabytes, which is obviously much larger than the floppy image, but honestly, 98 megabytes is still ridiculously tiny for a complete operating system. Now, this Fujitsu does have a CD drive, which would have been perfect, except I don't have any blank disks lying around. So, USB boot it is. I'll grab my trusty USB drive, fire up Rufus, and we're done. For some reason, this laptop just refused to boot Calibri OS from the USB. I tried changing the boot settings, but nothing. I'm guessing this old BIOS just wasn't too happy with it. So I tried something different. I switched to an external hard drive connected through a USB enclosure and made that bootable instead. And somehow, it worked. That's weird. But what surprised me even more was how ridiculously fast it booted. The moment I hit enter, the desktop appeared almost instantly. That's insane. Even though this hardware is outdated and the entire OS is currently running from an external hard drive through a USB cable, I really wasn't expecting something this lightweight to have such a complete desktop experience. This interface is pretty interesting. It has a modern cartoon style and it doesn't look like any operating system I've tried before. The layout is pretty unusual too, with app icons spread across all four corners of the screen. And everything feels incredibly responsive. Pretty much any app I click on opens almost instantly. At the bottom, we've got a taskbar with a menu button in the left corner. And this is where all of Calibri OS's apps and tools are organized into different categories. We've got welcome here. Oh, looks like the developers actually included quite a bit of useful information for new users. Overall, pretty impressed, but I'm much more interested in what this tiny OS can actually do.
All right, we've got a file manager here.
Yep. What about this one next to it? Wow, another file manager? This one actually looks a lot like Windows Explorer from the XP or Windows 7 era. I'm not sure, but it definitely feels familiar. And the next one? Okay. This one has a classic look with that blue background. So we've got 3 different file managers with 3 different interfaces. That's pretty weird. And check this out. When I right-click the title bar, the window instantly rolls up. Right-click again, and it comes back. Double-click the title bar, and it maximizes to full screen. That's pretty cool. No OS has ever worked like this. A calculator? Yep, it's still as basic as you'd expect. We also have TinyPad, basically Kolibri OS's version of Notepad, and Cedit, a slightly more advanced editor designed for writing code. And here's Animage, a basic drawing tool, pretty similar to Paint on Windows. Oh, sorry, I'm clearly not much of an artist. Inside App, with this Rubik's Cube icon, there are quite a few more applications, all divided into different categories. Here we've got media, video players, a PDF viewer, and even tools for screenshots and screen recording. There's actually more here than I expected. Next up, we have some 3D modeling and editing tools with a few sample models included. Wait, is this a Lego building guide? It even shows you every step. That's pretty cool. Maybe I'll try building a few of these when I have some free time. There are still a ton of other apps here, but I'd need a lot more time to dig through all of this. We also have a system panel, which is basically similar to the control panel on Windows. This is where we can configure various system settings. And wow, Calibri OS also allows us to freely customize the interface. I can change the window color, and there are also quite a few attractive wallpaper options. I really like this. It's something you don't often see in such a lightweight OS. It's simple, but still gives you plenty of room to customize things to your liking. There we go. This wallpaper looks pretty good. We also have mouse settings. Alright, easy to use. And look at this. It even has CPU ID. We've got all the CPU information right here. Yep, an AMD Sempron. There's even a benchmark tool built in. Oh, it's running system tests, and it gives us detailed results for each piece of hardware. There is an interesting point here. System Monitor shows that about 21% of the machine's total 1.5 gigabytes of RAM is currently in use. However, this figure is somewhat misleading. In reality, System Disk is just a small 1.4 megabyte RAM drive, while TMP0 is a temporary RAM drive allocated 291 megabytes. This means the entire OS has been loaded into RAM. So, theoretically, I could actually remove the hard drive right now. Oh, everything is still working normally. Of course, if I shut it down now, anything that hasn't been saved to storage will be gone. Calibri OS also comes with quite a few games. Let's see what we've got. Oh, a dinosaur. Wait, that's literally the Chrome dinosaur. Who brought this thing here? What else? Floppy Bird? That's a great name. Haha. Yep, this has to be the hardest game in the world. 7 points. Can you beat me? We've also got the classic Snake with a super simple grid-style design. And inside the menu, there's an entire game center with built-in Calibri OS games. Wow, getting through all of these would take a while. And look at this, Doom. Oh, it actually works. At this point, I'm pretty sure Doom can run on literally anything. That's awesome. But of course, nothing is ever perfect. Calibri OS can't get online on this laptop. Even with an Ethernet cable plugged in, there's still no internet. Under the Network Devices section, the system detects 2 network devices but lacks compatible drivers. The welcome documentation also mentions that Calibri OS only supports certain Ethernet controllers. So unfortunately, no internet on this machine. Alright, so after experiencing Calibri, this OS is surprisingly impressive. It's ridiculously small and lightweight, yet somehow packed with way more features than I expected. Of course, compatibility is still a major limitation, but seeing a 19-year-old laptop run this smoothly was still a really fun experience. So, would you try Calibri OS? Let me know in the comments.